Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. This is Abdul Ghaffar Abbasi here to conduct chemistry class. Today we will discuss about the types of oxides. What are oxides and types of oxides? Right? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. These are the rules which you know already. Turn on live captions. Turn your mics to mute. Turn off your webcam, don't record the session, and if you feel any problem you can use chat window and mic also, and you have to follow all the rules. Right now, this is the these are the learning objectives of the topic. Recap of the previous topic: oxides, types of oxides. We will perform a practical, and then at the end plenary, and then homework. Right? Okay. And now look at here. What is an oxide? As you know that an oxide is basically a compound of the oxygen with any other element. It may be metal or it may be non-metal, right? So this that compound will be oxide. One element must be the oxygen, right? Okay. Most oxides can be grouped together into following four types. These are the four types of the oxides which we will discuss: acidic oxides, basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, and neutral oxide. Right? Okay. Now, number one is acidic oxide. Number one point in acidic oxide is that its formation, how it is formed. Right? So, as initially I told you that oxides is a compound that will be formed by the one element must be oxygen, right, and another element may be metal or non-metal. So in acidic oxide, oxygen reacts with what? Non-metal, right? Then what is the state of the acidic oxide? Acidic oxides are often gases at room temperature. They are Acidic oxides are gases at room temperature. Solubility in water, whether they are soluble or insoluble. So look at here, most acidic oxides are soluble in water, and when they are soluble in water they will produce acids. This is the reason they are called as the acidic oxides. Now look at the reaction. This is the example of the just one example diagram. CO2, carbon is non-metal, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Now look at the chemical reaction. It reacts with water to produce acids. This is the example. For example, look at here, sulfur trioxide is reacting with water to produce the sulfuric acid. This is the equation, right? Okay. Another reaction, also react with bases and alkalis to produce salt and water on. This is the example. Carbon dioxide, this is acidic oxide, right? It will react with bases or alkalis like sodium hydroxide. Then it will produce the salt, that is sodium carbonate, and water. This one. This is the equation, chemical equation. CO2, sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, and water. Okay. Now the examples of acidic oxides. These all are the examples of the acidic oxide like sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, phosphorus oxide. These are the examples of the acidic oxide. Now when they react with water, they will produce acids like sulfur trioxide reacts with water to produce sulfuric acid. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water to produce sulfurous acid, and carbon dioxide produces carbonic acid. Last, phosphorus oxide will produce phosphoric acid. Okay, Kutsia, up to this one, is it clear? Any issue?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Well done. Try to note down the main points, right? Or take a screenshot or try to note down the main points. You must have pen or pencil with you. Okay, now the same basic second type is basic oxides, and the points which I have classified in oxides. Number one is formation. So these are the oxides of metals, means metals react with oxygen to produce basic oxides. State, what is the state of the basic oxides? Basic oxides are often solids at room temperature, right? They are solids at room temperature. Solubility in water, most basic oxides are insoluble in water, right? But a few oxides dissolve in readily in water to produce alkalis such as sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. As you know, that alkalis are soluble in water, right? But other, we can say that, are insoluble and they are called as bases. Now, this is example just with diagram, that is calcium oxide or quicklime, CaO, calcium oxide. Chemical reactions, they react with acids and then they will produce salt and water only. This is the example. Look at here, magnesium oxide is reacting with acids. This is magnesium oxide is a basic oxide. It will react with acid, hydrochloric acid. It will produce salt and water. This is magnesium chloride, salt and water. This is the chemical equation. Magnesium oxide, hydrochloric acid, magnesium chloride and water, right? And look at this one. This is a neutralization reaction. When acid reacts with the base, it and to produce salt and water, this is called the neutralization reaction. Okay, now the examples of the basic oxides. These are the examples: magnesium oxide, sodium oxide, calcium oxide, and copper oxide. These are the formula: magnesium oxide, sodium oxide, calcium oxide, and copper oxide. Now the third type, that is the amphoteric oxide, and points are same, but there will be some change. What is the formation of the amphoteric oxides? Metals react with oxygen to produce amphoteric oxide, right? What is the state? Amphoteric oxides are solids at room temperature. Behavior, what is the behavior? How, what is their nature of the amphoteric oxides? They can behave as acids, acidic oxides, as or as basic oxides, both. Amphoteric means both. They have the nature of the, they can behave as acid and they can behave as a basic oxides also. What is the solubility? They are insoluble in water. They are not soluble in water. These are the important points you must have to note for the amphoteric oxides. Look at this one. This is the example, zinc oxide. Now the complete picture. Examples of amphoteric oxides: zinc oxide, aluminum oxide, and lead oxide. These are the three amphoteric oxides, right? Zinc oxide, aluminum oxide, and lead oxide. Okay, it means they can, uh, when they react with the acids, so they will be like basic. When they will react with basic, they will behave as a acids, right? They have the dual nature of the acidic oxides and basic oxide. Last one, the fourth one, neutral oxide. Formation, non-metals that form the oxides, means non-metals react with oxygen to produce neutral oxides. What is the state? Neutral oxides are often liquids and gases at room temperature. What is the behavior? As right now we have discussed that they show neither basic or nor acidic properties. Neutral, they are neutral, right? They are not acidic or basic. Okay, then what is the solubility in water? They are also insoluble in water, but there is one example which is water that is soluble in water. Look at here, example carbon monoxide, and these are the further examples of the neutral oxides like water, carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, right? These are the three examples. Or you can say that nitrogen monoxide, you can also say that nitrogen monoxide. This is the uh, complete picture of acidic, basic, and amphoteric oxides on the basic of on the basis of the periodic table, right? These are the basic oxides, metals, and these are the non-metals. When react with oxygen, they will produce the acidic oxides, and the yellow color, these are called as the amphoteric oxide, right? Okay, now we will perform the practical related to the types of oxides. Up to this one, Kutsia, if you have any difficulty, you can ask.
No, sir, it's clear.
Okay, good, well done. Now we will move towards the practical performance.
pH can be measured using universal indicator solution, which produces a rainbow of colours and classifies solutions as acidic, basic or neutral. Soluble oxides can dissolve in water to form acidic, basic or amphoteric solutions. These solutions can then be involved in neutralization reactions, which involve moving the pH of a solution towards 7. In these experiments, the changes in pH that occur when metal oxide and water solutions are reacted with an acid and non-metal oxides are reacted with a base will be explored. The first experiment is the reaction of the metal oxide and water solutions with an acid. 30 centimeters cubed of 0.1 moles per decimeter cubed hydrochloric acid is measured out using a measuring cylinder. The liquid needs to be measured out accurately. The acid is added to each of the labeled beakers: potassium oxide and water, sodium oxide and water, and lithium oxide and water. Then 10 drops of universal indicator are added to each beaker. The color of the acid is then recorded in the results table, and the pH scale is used to work out the pH number. A magnetic stirrer is added to each beaker and placed on the magnetic stirrer plate one at a time. A stirring rod could also be used. 15 centimeters cubed of the metal oxide and water solutions are added to the correspondingly labelled beakers of acid using a syringe. Once all the metal oxide and water solutions have been added, the pH of the solutions can be measured and the results table filled in.
Kuchia, when the pH is color is 7, color is basically neutral. So, oh, sorry, the color is green. It means what? Now the solution will be
The solution will be neutral at 7.
at 7. Very good. It will be neutral. Good.
When an acid is reacted with a soluble metal oxide solution, its pH increases towards neutral, or pH 7. This type of reaction is known as a neutralization reaction. Some metal oxides like aluminium oxide and zinc oxide can act as both an acid and a base. These are known as amphoteric oxides. It is also important to look at the chemistry of soluble non-metal oxides. Non-metal oxides can dissolve in water to form acids. When fossil fuels are burnt, non-metal oxide pollutant gases are released. These gases dissolve in rainwater, forming acid rain. When acid rain falls back to Earth, it causes the acidity of the soil and groundwater to increase, leading to environmental damage. In this experiment,
Is this clear, Kuchia? Acidic oxides. Acidic oxides. Okay, acidic oxide reacts with water to produce the acid rain, and which results, what are the results of the acid rain to the environment and aquatic life, right?
the gases nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide are produced and bubbled through sodium hydroxide. Using a syringe, 2 centimeters cubed of sodium hydroxide is measured out 3 times and transferred.
This sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and carbon dioxide, these oxides are called as
Acidic oxides.
acidic oxides. Well done. Good.
Into the 3 test tubes labeled SO2, NO2, and CO2. Then, 2 drops of universal indicator is added to each test tube. The color and the pH is recorded in the results table. to create nitrogen dioxide.
Now look at this test tube. Their color represent what? Acidic, alkaline, or neutral? Right now,
Alkaline.
alkaline. Good.
Results table. To create nitrogen dioxide, half a spatula of sodium nitrate is added to a test tube. Using a syringe, 2 centimeters cubed of 1 mole per decimeter cubed hydrochloric acid is also added to the test tube. And a bung is placed immediately on the tube. Bubbles of brown nitrogen dioxide gas are produced. After a few minutes, the bung is removed from the test tube and the gas is removed using a syringe with tubing attached to it. The tubing is placed into the test tube labelled NO2 and the gas is slowly bubbled into the solution. The pH of the solution is measured and the value recorded. Sulfur dioxide is created using sodium hydrogen sulfate and hydrochloric acid. Again, the syringe with the tubing is used to remove the gas formed, which is bubbled into the test tube labelled SO2. The pH of the solution is measured and the value recorded. Carbon dioxide is created using sodium carbonate and hydrochloric acid. The gas produced is bubbled into the test tube labelled CO2 and the pH of the solution is measured and the value recorded. The table is now complete. When a base is reacted with a soluble non-metal oxide, the pH decreases and becomes more acidic. Neutralization reactions are used to lower pollutant gas emissions and reduce the likelihood of acid rain being formed.
Okay, so this was related to the acidic oxide, basic oxide, and neutral oxide. Right now, we are moving to the quiz. Right at the end, I will highlight the worksheets. Okay, so now look at this one, Kuchia. Order of the following gases is according to the relative formula mass, highest to lowest. Right? Yes, highest to lowest. CO2, look at this one, 46, then 44, then 64, then 28. These are the uh, molecular masses of the gases, right? So we have to order them from highest to lowest. What will be the order? The last one.
C.
See this one?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Last one. Highest to lowest.
Okay, D. Good. Yes, Ali, you missed the video practical performance related to the types of oxide and presentation, PPT presentation. That was very informative and well planned. You can say that
Yeah, I saw
website.
it.
Okay, good. Video
Yes.
experiment. Okay. Yes, the second one. Classify the given oxides as either acidic, basic, amphoteric, or neutral. Yes. Number one, phosphorus oxide is phosphorus oxide is acidic, basic,
Acidic. Acidic.
acidic. And what about nitrogen oxide? Is a
Neutral.
neutral. Neutral, yes. And what about
Calcium
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 oxide
oxide
basic.
basic.
basic? Sorry, calcium oxide is a basic oxide. And last one, zinc oxide, as you know, that it's amphoteric oxide. Okay, well done. Yes. Now the next one. Order the following aqueous solution in the pH value from the highest to lowest.
First, hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Okay. Then
Then ethanoic acid.
सर
ethanoic acid.
हाईएस्ट तो बेस का होगा ना.
Order of the following aqueous solution and pH value
हाँ
from
वाकई.
highest.
पहले
Yes.
सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड आएगा.
Okay. We are placing them here.
तो इथेनॉइक एसिड को फोर्थ पे रखें.
Take one. First will be sodium hydroxide.
जी
Okay.
फिर अमोनिया.
Then
फिर
ammonia.
अमोनिया.
देन
देन फिर
Then
वाटर.
वाटर.
water.
देन
And
फिर
इथेनोइक एसिड.
हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड.
सुठो कर. खाली
now it's good. Well done. Very good, Kutsia. Yes. The next one. Classify the oxides according to whether they are acidic, basic, or amphoteric. Yes. Nitrogen dioxide is a
एसिडिक.
acidic oxide. Lithium oxide is a
बेसिक. बेसिक.
basic oxide. And sulfur dioxide is a
एसिडिक.
acidic oxide.
सोडियम ऑक्साइड बेसिक.
Sodium
सोडियम
is
ऑक्साइड
a,
बेसिक. एल्यूमिनियम एम्फोटेरिक.
sodium is a wait, sodium is a basic oxide and amphoteric oxide aluminum oxide. Okay, good. Yes, very good. Next is which oxide is responsible for the acid rain?
Na2O.
Na2O, sodium oxide,
कार्बन
acid rain,
डाइऑक्साइड.
नहीं
carbon.
सॉरी. सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड. सॉरी
I
Na2O नहीं.
uh, I think so. Also sulfur dioxide. No, sulfur dioxide will be the because it will produce the sulfuric acid. Yes, correct answer. Now the next one. Which of the following are not classified as the fossil fuels?
वुड.
Is not classified as a fossil fuel. Wood, coal,
वुड.
natural gas, and oil. Yes, good. Okay. Next one. What is the type of the reaction called when the acid reacts with the base?
न्यूट्रलाइजेशन.
न्यूट्रलाइजेशन.
Neutralization reaction. Good. Okay. In this experiment video, 30 cm cube of hydrochloric acid is measured out carefully using the measuring cylinder. Which of the following instrument would be even more accurate for measuring the volume of the acid? More accurate.
Pipette.
A beaker, burette, a glass pipette. No, look at the options
Two
here.
only. Burette.
Burette,
A
two and
होगा.
3, or but in the burette, in the pipette Kutsia, there are two types of the pipette. One is 10 cm cube and one is 25 to 20 cm cube. So it's 30. So it will be more accurate, I think, also the burette. So second only. No, it
A.
will be second and third. It will be second and third. Okay. Yes. But pipette, through the pipette we can measure only the 10 and the 25, maybe 30 also. Yes. Why are SO2, NO2 and CO2 are the gases at the room temperature, where K2O is a solid?
Because they are non-metal oxide.
A.
No, because they all produce acid solution when dissolved in water, and because they are simple covalent molecules, whereas K2O is ionically. This is the, I think, correct. Yes, because ionic bonding is there. All the ionic compounds are solid in state. When we compare the ionic compounds with covalent compounds, they are gases and liquids. So these are covalent. There is a covalent bonding between these sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, and carbon. Okay, is it clear, Ali? The last one.
These are clear.
Oh, okay. What is the correct chemical equation for when the lithium oxide is added to the water? Lithium oxide with water.
Sir, D.
D is the correct one. But lithium, the charge on the lithium is +1 and oxygen -2. When you cross, the symbol will be Li2O.
A.
Okay. What about this one?
हाँ C होगा.
Yes, because no oxygen will be produced in it, right? So this was the quiz related to the uh, types of oxides. Now quickly just look at these worksheets. I will upload on the Google Classroom, right? This is the K worksheet. These are the different words, and you have to fill these gaps through these words, right? This is the one worksheet, okay? And these are some short questions related to the experiment which we have performed, right? And then look at this one. This is also the worksheet, potassium oxide and water. So what will be the pH before and after, right? And what will be the color change also. These are also very interesting and easy worksheets. This is the complete practical setup for this types of oxide, right? Then this is also the short question worksheets related to the types of oxide, okay? and this one. This is the complete setup for the practical, right? These are the equipments which we will use, and this is also the experimental setup, right? These worksheets I will upload on the Google Classroom, then you can solve, and answer key also I will upload, or if you have any difficulty I will WhatsApp you the answer key also. Okay, any difficulty, Ali? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.